Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday morning Mind the Moment gathering brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. And this is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe, Palacino, and I'm very happy to be here with Tara Healey, our director of Harvard Pilgrim's mindfulness program. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Suzanne. Good morning, everyone. Good to be here with you this morning.
Yeah, it's great to have everyone here this morning. Great to have you with us on this rainy day. I guess we could have used a little rain, so I guess this is good. And it's happening during the week, and we had a beautiful holiday weekend, which hasn't happened in a little bit, so we'll take that. So we're happy to have everyone with us this morning.
Yes.
Today we'll start off with a question for the group, as we usually do. And then Tara will lead us in a guided practice. And after that, we'll have time for discussion and questions and comments. So if you go to the bottom of your screen, if you can click on the chat, and that you can see everybody's comments coming in, you're welcome to click the drop-down menu and click on everyone. And that will give you the opportunity to see folks chiming in as they might have questions. And if you have any questions or anything you'd like to bring up now, you're more than welcome to add it into the chat now.
Yes, and of course, I think, we just think of this as a place for sharing resources too. So always, any kind of books or links or apps that you think are great. Yeah,
definitely. Okay, so Tara, what are you going to kick us off?
Oh, yeah, this morning I was reading a piece from a meditation teacher that I love. He lives out in Seattle, and he was kind of reflecting on, he was actually started by reflecting on 9/11. And during that time period, shortly after 9/11, he was talking about the generosity and kindness of people that he didn't even know, that there seemed to be, this collective generosity, and that, historically through time, that during pandemics like what we're in, that people galvanized around each other, and there seems to be, at least at times or in pockets, goodwill. And I really love this teacher. He doesn't really travel out here anymore. He's a little bit older, but it kind of inspired me to think about what I wanted to ask this morning. And it's related to generosity. And I started thinking, so my question is, what is something that you have done recently that has been an offering to someone else, some type of generous effort on your part, or what have you received from someone, no matter how small, that kind of lit you up a little bit, that you felt a kind of warm gratitude for what somebody might have extended you. And it doesn't have to be anything grand. I mean, it could be somebody that smiled and had an accepting way about them with you. So Suzanne, how about you? Is there something that either someone has done for you or you've done for someone where you kind of felt that warmth? And
well, I have a good friend that's moving back to the East Coast from Texas, and so she had to go and do a house hunting trip without her husband, so I went to New York to help. And so I felt really, it's interesting. It's as you go and help someone, how much it gives back to you. I just felt so wonderful doing that for her. And we walked over, I think we walked over 8 miles in New York, seeing 13 properties in one day.
Wow.
So it was, it was just it was a busy day. And so I was able to help her and take videos of the places. And
really, really nice. And I think, when I think of generosity, there's no expectation of something else in return. That's like the beauty of it. It is really just a full-hearted act of generosity. And so I think, for me, over the weekend, I was at a couple of different parties, and just seeing people walk in the door with a bounty of food and being able to enjoy that. And then also for one of those, I was creating a dish that takes it's delicious, but there's a lot of chopping and a fair amount of time involved. But to really bring that, lens of awareness and generosity, and then see people enjoy, like, just warmed me so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And isn't it interesting how all of that can, we're doing something for someone else, but it makes us feel even better.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see, what do we have coming in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Offer up books after I've read them. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, when I deliver them, I wrap them like gifts. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Helping someone with a wedding reception set up. Yeah, that's great.
Spending time with mother-in-law. Yeah.
Got up early to bring a friend a ride to the airport. Time alone together was priceless.
Yeah. So nice.
Mm-hmm.
And Suzanne and I were talking earlier, the smallest gestures matter. And I think about things like driving on the road and where we can extend generosity, and the hope that as we extend generosity on the road, that person will then, there'll be a ripple effect. I think there often is a ripple effect. So
yeah.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move into practice. And we'll do just the usual settling practice, and then we'll land on an anchor for our attention. So basically, we're just trying to create some stability of mind. And then, to remember that the reason we're trying to create that stability of mind is that we take that concentration or focus out into the service of our day-to-day life. So we are more, you're employing that in the service of helping yourself and others, and seeing clearly, bringing that mindfulness just works better and more often when we have some steadiness. So yeah, let's begin, and go ahead and take a couple deep breaths on your own as a way to just settle any kind of surface tension that you might be feeling from the activity of the day so far. And notice your body, how you're sitting or standing, so that you're holding yourself in a way that is upright and engaged, yet at the same time easeful. So not too tight and not too loose. Eyes open or closed. And just take a moment to become aware of the whole body, aware that you're sitting, aware of the points of contact with the body and the surface, whether that is the soles of the feet or all along the back of the body. Perhaps aware of pulsing, vibration, temperature, tingling. And just see what sort of raw data is your body offering you at the level of physical sensation. And now just allow your awareness to expand to include sound. So either in the room that you're in or outside of the room. And just receiving sound without labeling what's making it, but literally, and see how effortless receiving sound is. You don't have to try. And allowing sound to remain in the background, begin to bring awareness back inward, back into the room, coming back into the body, and allowing, of course, sound to remain as it will. And beginning to notice breath sensation, breathing in and breathing out. Where in the body is that sensation most noticeable? See if you can get one full breath in and out, just staying attentive to the sensations where you notice them most strongly. And it is always fine to use something else as an anchor. So that could be palms of hands resting on the thighs, or the points of contact with the back of the body, or the soles of the feet, or sound. Just returning over and over again as you see that you've moved into thought, not a problem. We're not trying to stop thought. Thinking is not problematic. We're just deciding not to follow that train of thought. We're noticing, we can label thinking, and just simply return to breath sensation or another sensation or sound. Noticing where the mind is, reconnecting with sound or sensation. Noticing where the mind is. And now noticing the body. Thought or thinking often brings a subtle contraction. So soften the body and reposition upright, engaged, and reconnect with breath or sound. And again, noticing where the mind is, softening the body, and reconnecting with your anchor. And as we bring this meditation to a close, may we be peaceful and at ease. May our heart be soft and open. May we be safe and protected, and our body healthy and strong. And may the merit and goodwill of our practice be for the benefit of all beings everywhere. And as you feel ready, taking a moment to open your eyes if they were closed, and take a breath and stretch a bit.
Thank you, Tara.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I've been doing the Ted Lasso challenge.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was yesterday, there were the meditation teacher was, they were talking about being kind to oneself. And when you were doing the kindness, the loving kindness portion at the end,
Yeah.
she was saying, if that's difficult for you, picture someone else saying those words to you.
Yeah.
It was like, you know what? That's a really good way to do it.
That is a good way to do it. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes also starting, because traditionally you start with yourself, but it can be really challenging. So you could start with a pet, like,
Mhm.
you know, just to kind of, yeah. One thing I wanted to say just about the practice today too, and I don't usually say this, but I feel like it's valuable, is that very often when we are, you know, sitting in meditation without distraction, you can expect your mind to wander. Mind wanders, everybody's wanders, and that's not a problem. It's really valuable to notice that when you've seen that you're lost in a narrative, usually of the past or the future, that your body is subtly contracting, often without your knowledge. And so when you see, oh, thinking, you know, again, don't berate yourself because this is actually, you're doing meditation correctly. Oh, thinking, immediately go to your body, and you may notice a very subtle, or it could be not so subtle, contraction. So the mind is churning away, and what's happening is the body subtly is contracting, but we usually don't notice. So typically what I do is, you know, I'll see, oh, thinking, soften, and then return to whatever I'm using to help stabilize my attention. So it's just worth noting that whatever arises, whether it's bodily contraction or anxiety, and you're feeling that anxiety in the body, to really welcome it. I know it seems counterintuitive, but receive, you know, enter with curiosity, like what is actually happening. Yeah, so I just wanted to say that. Anybody want to comment on how the practice was for them this morning?
Yeah, I do like that reminder, because it's depending on the thought, you can feel your body stressing about, you know.
Yeah, and it's so subtle. It's often so subtle. And all it takes is just a little bit of awareness, and then you know, just softening, just a softening, and then return, you know, return to your anchor, go into thought again. Oh, thinking, soften, back again, you know. So it's literally, I do love the weightlifting analogy. You're working against the resistance of the weight, doing repetitions over and over again to build strength and flexibility, so you can then employ that strength in the service of your day. And it's the same with this, only instead of a weight, it's the thinking mind. Oh, thinking, come back, thinking, come back. So we're stabilizing attention that we then employ in the service of our day-to-day life. It helps us see more clearly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a reminder to, when we do get that feeling, I feel like when your body tenses like that, we might tend to react to something. But if we remind ourselves, okay, now soften, then we might react differently. You know, just
and if you can't soften, that's okay too. That you just have creating the intention to.
Yeah.
So again, it's like, you know, really bringing that lens of kindness. So I wanted to share a quote by the Persian poet, Iranian poet, Hafiz, and he was alive in the 1300s. And he's very similar to Rumi, but he doesn't quite get the same amount of attention as Rumi gets, but I love him. And with our theme of gratitude today, I came across this this morning, which is, I'll read it twice. So even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, "You owe me." Look what a love like that can do. It lights up the whole sky. For some reason, probably for a lot of reasons, that has been like one of my favorite quotes of his. So I'll say it again. Even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, "You owe me." Look what a love like that can do. It can light up the whole sky. So we're right at 9, and I want to just thank everybody for joining this morning, and may you have a day full of bounty and generosity and kindness. As the Dalai Lama says, be kind whenever possible. It's always possible.
Well, thank you, Tara. Thanks
Yeah.
for being here and for guiding us. We really happy to have you here, and thank you everyone for joining, and hope to see you on Tuesday. We'll have another one of our instructors here. So looking forward to that, and hope everyone has a good rest of the day. See you soon.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.